In today's video, I'll be using Lothur Grooming Juice, coming right up. Hey wet shavers, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host John, aka Lather Hog, and as you can see by my surroundings, I'm still here in New York, visiting family, actually visiting a few friends too, both new and old, while I'm here, and it's just been a great stay. My kids are having a great time hanging out with family here. You know, it's been super hot here lately, but that's kind of on par for the summer. It makes you appreciate the cooler weather of the fall and winter, which is really just around the corner. Anyhow, for today's shave, I'm very excited to use this product today. It's another offering from Lothur Grooming over in the UK. This product actually was sent over to me by Johnny, the artisan behind Lothar Grooming, and that is the newest scent called Juice. And in full disclosure, this along with the tub of the revamped Dave was sent to me as a gift from Johnny at Lothar Grooming. This scent right here, Juice, is primarily inspired by the drink known as cordial or squash over in the UK. Us Americans might not be too familiar with that, but it's kind of a fruit concentrate that you dilute with carbonated water, or alcohol. So even though I don't have the reference point for what a cordial is exactly, I think we'll be okay here with the note breakdown and all of that, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But first off, let me just unscrew the top here. I have used this soap once before, so this isn't in first impressions necessarily. You can see I've been, it's a soft soap. You can press in there very easily, and I just still load straight from the tub. And let me give you impressions off the tub. So despite the cordial being the inspiration, I don't think this is out and out a gourmand scent. It doesn't necessarily bring me to food, but there's certainly fruity notes in there amongst other things. I think this scent is very accessible, easily likable, and as far as scent strength goes, it's probably right in the middle, a 5 out of 10. As I said before, we'll come back to the notes and everything in just a little bit. But let me show you what else we've got for the shave today. For my razors today, we're using a fairly recent addition to my den, and that is the Timeless Slim Titanium Edition with the crown handle. This one offers some great shaves. It's efficient with a low blade feel, and I think it's a very unique looking handle. I know it's not for everyone, but for me, it appeals to my taste. And this is loaded with a Gillette Silver Blue blade. Next up for my brush is one that's on loan from my good friend Ben from House of Mammoth. He's one of the friends I mentioned earlier who I always try to catch while I'm in New York. This one is the beautiful Blood of Kings, and this is outfitted with a B9A+ knot, not one that I've tried before. So absolutely beautiful red handle. I mentioned I was looking to add a red handle, like a prominently red handle, to my brush collection. So he grabbed this one from his collection for me to try out, and it just so happened, there's a knot that I've never used before. So really excited to give this a go today. Last up, we're going to finish up real simple with Pacific Shaving Company's Caffeinated Aftershave Balm. If you'd like to help the channel, please like, share, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. These are all easy ways to support and grow the channel if you're enjoying what you're watching. Also, I want to invite you guys to check out the Lather Talk Discord to interact with fellow wet shaving enthusiasts, listeners of the Lather Talk podcast, and just all around cool people. Alright, so we got the face lather going. There was actually not much proto lather coming out this time. I made a point, given how dense this knot is, not to press in too much into the very, very soft soap that Lothar Grooming has. So Juice features the scent notes of cassis, lemon, bay, woods, and lily of the valley. Cassis is also known as black currant, and I will say that is at the forefront of this scent. Overall, I find this to be a nice blend of fruity and green notes with some florals in the background. I do worry that I didn't quite load enough soap on the brush, so we're going in for a little bit more. No shame in that. Again, with softer soaps, I'm always a little wary of overloading. And I can't say I've used a super high density knot yet with any of the Lothar soaps. Since we're featuring the brush, this part of the video, I do want to note that B9A Plus is the B9A hair that's gone the gelling process. And the B9A knot is one actually I do own and really enjoy. And it's kind of, I don't know, on the face, unless I do like side by side with two different brushes, I'm not gonna really know and describe the differences. I do know when the brush was dry before I soaked it, it was kind of crunchy, which some gel knots, actually most gel knots, have a little bit of crunch, kind of like the old school hair gel kind of feeling. A little spiky, a little prickly. That softened right up once you wet the brush. It definitely had some of that. Now, as for some recent updates from Lothar Grooming, after the initial launch or soft launch, whatever you want to call it, Johnny over at Lothar took all the customer feedback, both on scenting and for the soap itself, and made some tweaks. So not too long after the initial drop, he reformulated the soap fairly quickly to offer, I believe, a slightly firmer, although still soft, mind you. And one metric he wanted to improve was the slickness, which honestly I didn't have any problems with my previous shaves with it. But I do know that a number of people mentioned it could be more slick. So kudos to Johnny for taking that feedback, making changes, and it's actually a change that resulted in a more cost-effective product. So if you guys wind up looking at your local retailers, you might notice that Lothar Grooming dropped maybe like $1 or $2 from the initial prices. I was lucky enough to preview the soap before it hit the market, and despite getting some free tubs, I went and bought some for my own. I initially bought that tub of Dave's because I know it was a tea-inspired scent. And I also recently purchased, but haven't used yet, a tub of the Calm scent, which, just off the top of my head, I know it has eucalyptus and one other note. I'll be sure to just throw that in into the captions in post-production. I did forget to mention I'm working with about 4 days worth of beard growth. You can see a little of the stubble here. Apologies I didn't show you before I lathered up, but like when I'm on the go, I don't nearly shave as regularly, so that's fine. 4 days, not too worried how this thing will do. So here we go. So with my purchase of the tub of Calm, I have caught them all as far as Lothar Grooming. And if you follow Lothar over on social media, Instagram and whatnot, you'll see that Johnny's already teasing his fall release. So definitely give him a follow over there if you're curious what they're working on. As far as my time in New York, it's funny, since we drive here, we're able to have some flexibility with the trip. And it's a family trip, it's not vacation. I've been working while I was here. Actually, the whole point of coming here was getting a helping hand and keeping an eye on my kids. And that has been going very well. So I had a great time. I met up and got to hang out with Ben from Mammoth, along with his wife Elaine. Had a really nice time catching up, talking about life as parents, and of course talking about shaving stuff, as you do. And one other friend I got to meet, who I've chatted online plenty, but first time meeting in person, was friend of the channel, Lord Shady. So Shady, it was a pleasure meeting you and hanging out with you. Someone who, in the wet shaving community, really likes fragrances as well, and we had a good time smelling a bunch of fragrances at the local mall. I feel like there's a special bond there when you can do that with another guy friend. I had a blast, and I think he did too. So it was a pleasure meeting you in person, Lord Shady. All right, so I'm lathered up for the second pass here. Let's get right to it here. One wrench that kind of got thrown in as far as the video schedule was by extending my trip here. Obviously I don't have all my regular stuff and items that I'm eagerly waiting to use, especially on the software side. So if I had mentioned any products in the last few videos, that might just take a little bit longer to get to. I think that's okay. In general, things, at least around these parts, take a little bit more laid back approach during the summer, given that things are a little bit more hectic, a little more busier with travel, and the kids are around, which makes peaceful times and quiet times to record videos, makes that a little harder to come by. Even now, I don't even know what you guys might be hearing from the background noise, but as always, appreciate you all just rolling with whatever distractions there might be. Life with young kids is usually fairly unpredictable. All right, so I think we're gonna stick with that 2-pass shave. I will say, especially in the second pass, the lather was a little thinner than I would have liked. Given that reservation with the softer soap and with a super, dense hand-tied knot like from Declaration Grooming, I don't know. I think I might kind of favor a more predictable synthetic knot, or maybe just not as dense of knot to go with the Lothar Grooming soap, or really any soap that I would say leans on the softer side. These are just mental notes, I think, for future uses. Those who love bowl lathering, I think this also is the perfect soap to just scoop how much you want to use, and then use your favorite brush in the bowl and add water as you need. So I would say that this time the lather structure probably ran thinner, given how much product I had versus just how freaking dense this brush was. So you can still see here, you can still see plenty of lather in here, but as I was trying to gradually add water, it almost went too much too quickly. Anyway, you live and you learn. So I would really actually recommend Juice or Tears, which is an Italian colonia type scent. Those are great first goes if you're thinking about dipping your toes with Lothar Grooming. In general, none of the scents are super slap you in the face strong, given that skincare is highly valued by this artisan. Medium scent strength is really the most strong it's gonna get. So if you need to have that uber strong kind of scenting, you might want to pass in general. But if you're okay with medium to lighter scents and really just an all-around standout product, highly recommend just all the offerings from Lothar Grooming. Almost forgot, gotta use the aftershave balm. Despite my issues lathering today, and that's all on me really, still great post-shave feel on this. In the past, I've used leftover lather as part of the post-shave. Today, I'm a little shorter on time, so I am cutting a few things. All right, so just to wrap things up, It's not actually the smoothest shave I've gotten ever, but today's video I think was a kind of good look into how sometimes you either make mistakes or you run into some issues and you make your notes and just hope for a better shave next time, improve as you can and whatnot. But overall still a really enjoyable scent out of Juice from Lothar Grooming. For the razor, still really enjoying, timeless, slim titanium. It really mows down multiple days worth of beard hair with no problem whatsoever. And lastly, thank you again to my buddy Ben for lending me Declaration Grooming, this Blood of Kings brush. Really look forward to getting some more shaves in with this guy. And that's going to do it for today's video. I really appreciate you guys tuning in today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.